Hey guys, back again. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's ordered from the website. I'm going to do quite a big update on the website sort of March time, so keep an eye out for that. And what I want to do is I just want to go through and show you how I go about fragging my Acropora coral. But also, if you're liking these videos, think about hitting the subscribe button. It really makes a massive difference and really helps me out. So let's get to fragging up these corals. You can see here he's got a bit of a weird growth pattern in my tank, so I want to actually aim to cut some of these larger bits, sort of some of these areas here I want to take off. Right, so here's our little snippings that we've got. You can see here, if I can get it to focus, there we go. So they've got quite a few branches on each. They're 1, 2, 3 there. So there's 4 fairly sort of decent sized chunks there. I tend to stay away from the ones like this that are really just long, but that bit broke off anyway. The reason I go for, I think the perfect size is between 1.5 and 2.5 centimeters for the actual length of the frag. So sort of like this area here, this area here, this area here. Purely because I think they do a lot better because they base out onto the frag plugs a lot better. And it also stops them from toppling over under the current, and also then they're not big enough to get stung by other corals as well. And in my experience, slightly smaller frags tend to do a lot better because it gives them a chance to base out before they either get, you know, swept away in current. So this long piece that you can see here is not really ideal. So what I might do is, although it does take longer, is cut this one into 3 and lay them horizontally onto the frag plug. And that makes a massive difference for the length of time it takes for it to base out. It takes sort of a good couple of months. But then, you know, it's completely encrusted and it's solidly on the frag plug then. So these are my little bits I'm going to be working with today. So that's them. And over here we have our frag plugs, which have been soaking in the tank water. This is really good to stop any sort of air bubbles in the glue, and also just gives them time to sort of cure a little bit. You can just keep some in your sump. They tend to get a bit algified if you keep them in your sump, so sometimes I just keep some in frag plugs, in frag racks in the tank as well, and then they can build up a bit of coralline algae as well. This is the glue that I'm going to be using, which is a Reef glue by Seachem. There we go, and it's 7 times thicker than your average glue. I'm showing Seachem a little bit of love at the moment because I've got another project that I'm working on, and I've been using Seachem Stability, so I don't know if I'm a little bit late to the party when it comes to Seachem products, but I've never really given them that much of a chance. But actually this glue's brilliant, and Stability has really done the trick for what I needed it to do. Also, I'm using good old Milliput, which is your 2-part epoxy. So I've already rolled out my little sausage here. I reckon I'm probably going to make about 3, 6, probably about 10 frags out of these guys. I also have a test tube holder which works really well to put your frags in, so I'm just going to pop all my little frag plugs all the way through there, and then I do what I call a little sandwich. So I put a little bit of glue, and then I put a little sausage of 2-part epoxy, then I pop a little bit of glue again, and then I put a little frag. So I'll show you that. It's going to be chopped. So I've got some fairly easy ones to pick from. As you can see, these branches just need to come off. It'd be good if I could focus on what I'm doing. There we go. One, 2, 3, and we'll leave that little nub in there. What we do is we just add a small amount of glue, And then we have a little ball here of 2-part epoxy, and that just goes there. Give it a little squish down. Just add a little bit more glue. And this end down. And there we go. And then we can just pop him back into some water. It dries super quick, and actually we can just lay them down back into the sort of the little test pot thing that I've got, and let them just chill out. So there we go. After a little bit of time and care, you can see we've got some nice frags made up there, all looking good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these settle out in the display tank. So I set up my little frag rank just so that they can heal nicely in there before going into the frag tank. So here they are, set back in the tank. These 4, I would say, are probably perfect size. Then these 3 are just slightly on the smaller side, so these just need to grow in. So these ones will be in the tank a little bit longer to either base out or to grow up a little bit more. They usually base out before they grow up, whereas these ones, once these have based out in probably 4 weeks, they'll be good to go, whereas these ones we might look at about sort of 8 weeks time. These ones, it depends, because these are sort of the more odd shaped stubby ones which are sort of where the branches came off. Sometimes they heal up nicely and do some really nice different kinds of branching. So I think the one at the back there, that one will probably be fine in about 8 weeks. These 2, this one will probably be too big, so I might even end up fragging from this one, because you can see there's a few other branches coming from it. And at least this way then you end up fragging from a frag rather than fragging from your actual, your big coral in your tank, which is quite good. And I just want to show you quickly now what I'm going to do with this, which is the long piece. I'm going to actually divide it into 2, and then I'm going to put it long ways on frag discs, and that way this is going to hopefully give me a little bit more brood stock, because as it grows out I can then easily move these frag plates around and store them at the bottom of the tanks and things, so it just makes life a little bit easier. So I'm going to grow this one on it sort of lengthwise, but it does take a little bit more time. Alright, so that was a really quick look into how I frag like Millepora, Acropora, any of the branching kind of corals. Obviously that could be some branching Montipora as well. It's not just exclusive to Acropora, but any of the branching kind of corals. I mean, there's even some branching Cyphastras which you do a very similar kind of job with. So next time I'm going to have a look at how I frag zoas. Now zoas are a little bit more tricky, but the principle is pretty much the same. You just need to make sure you protect yourself, because they are really poisonous. Yes, I think poisonous. Yes, they're very poisonous. They're not venomous. I think a venom is injected and a poison is ingested. So you do have to make sure that you're using protective equipment. I mean, I was using gloves there, but especially sort of eye protection and things like that, because you need to be a little bit more careful. But go ahead, hit the like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if there's any tricks that you do to frag your corals, if there's anything else you do that could make my life easier. If you think I'm doing it all wrong, let me know. I mean, this is how I've been doing it successfully so far, but if there's I'm always open to suggestion, so let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe, like I said, and yeah, check out the website. These ones will be going up, like I said, the sort of the larger 4, I think it was, are going to be going up in about a month, and then the ones next that will be about 2 months, and then so on and see how the other ones grow, and hopefully it gives me a little bit more brood stock as well. So yeah, go ahead, hit the like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you next week with how to frag zoas.